I call the City Council Committee of the Whole meeting for March 7th, 2018 to order. At this time, we'll endure a moment of silence. Just so we know, the mayor is doing wonderful things in Washington, D.C. with his Rivers Conference folks to help us get great ideas on how to work with the other folks on the river and also our river also. So be kind enough for a moment of silence. Thank you. If Alderman Ambrose would lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge my allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the city clerk, Miss Jackie, please call the roll?
Ambrose.
Here.
Condon.
Here.
Rawson.
Here.
Dickman. Here. Matson.
Here.
Grip.
Here.
McGinnis. Here. Cluel.
Here.
Tompkins.
Here.
Dunn.
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good evening again. As we begin the meeting of the City Council Committee of the Whole tonight, I would again like to welcome all of those in attendance and those who are viewing the meeting on the television or the internet. We respectfully welcome your comments and opinions. Please keep in mind that as you talk to the council, you are also sharing your thoughts with fellow Davenporters and with viewers throughout the region by way of our TV. We're happy you're participating in our city government and ask that your participation reflect the common desire we all share to make Davenport an even greater place for our citizens. For the children, adults, seniors, and families in our community, those in attendance, and those, of course, watching at home, I thank you for joining us. At this time, we ask you to please turn off or silence your electronic devices and other handheld devices as they can interfere with the audio system in our chamber. If you wish to address any member of the council on a specific item that will appear on a committee agenda, you're encouraged to do so during that standing committee's discussion. You also have an opportunity to address the City Council under the public with business portion of the meeting, which will occur towards the end of the meeting. When addressing the council, I ask that you step to the podium, wait to be recognized by myself or one of my council colleagues, and please state your name, ward, or address. And please direct all your comments to the body as a whole, not to any one single member. You are asked to limit your remarks to no more than 5 minutes, and I ask that everyone, as we know you will, observe the commonly accepted rules of courtesy, decorum, dignity, and good taste. Thank you. Is there any city administrator update, Ms. Spiegel?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll have 2 public hearings this evening, both in public works, so I'll ask Alderman Ambrose to deal with those public hearings, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The first public hearing is the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost for the FY 2018 micro resurfacing and Cape Seal program. Anybody from the public wishing to address that, please come forward. Hearing and seeing no one, Your Honor, I move to close this public hearing.
There's a move and second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right. Second public hearing is on the specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost for the FY 2019 and 2020 contract sewer repair program. Anybody from the public? Hearing and seeing no one, Your Honor, I move to close this public hearing.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Ambrose. There are no presentations for tonight, so we'll move to petitions and communications from council members and the mayor. We'll start off with Alderman Dickman. Do you have anything for us this evening?
I just wanted to remind everyone that I'm having a ward meeting tomorrow at Fairmount Library. I had the location incorrect last week, and so hopefully I will see many of you there. Our Public Works Department is going to be presenting on the capital improvement plan, so lots of really good, exciting things coming up. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderwoman McGinnis.
Thank you, Alderman Manson. Yes, and I'll be holding a ward meeting on Sunday, March 11th at 2 p.m., and that is at the Antoine Leclerc House on East 7th Street. We'll be talking about city business, talking about new lighting downtown, the new urban campus of Scott Community College. And then we'll have a very special, after the meeting, for people who wish to stay, a tour of the house. This house isn't open very much. It's the founder of Davenport's home, and so certainly Third Ward, but anyone else is welcome to come as well. And again, Sunday, March 11th at 2 p.m. And be sure and set your clocks forward.
Good point. Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else, Council? I have one item. Again, I'll remind everyone the mayor is in Washington, D.C., working with the River Cities Conference and other mayors to do great things to help with our river. And then one thing for me, I'll be gone next week. I'm honored to be with a delegation going to Langfang, China, to help with the city, to help with the sister cities engagement, and work with some commerce and education things over there. And so I'm looking forward to that. So I'll be out next week. Now we'll move on to action items for discussion. So what we have is 4 areas that we break our city council agenda down into, and we have few of my colleagues who will lead those discussions. And the first one, the area to be discussed, is community development. So Alderman Grip as the chairman and Alderman Klool as the vice will lead those discussions. Alderman Grip.
Thank you, Your Honor. We've got 3 items on the agenda for community development tonight. The first is a second consideration ordinance for case REZ 17-08, being the request of Palmer College of Chiropractic to rezone 37.63 acres more or less of property generally located between Harrison Street and Pershing Avenue and between East 12th and 5th Streets from R4 Moderate Density Dwelling District, R6M High Density Dwelling District, C1 Commercial Neighborhood Commercial District, C2 General Commercial District, C4 Central Business District, and M1 Light Industrial District to PID Planned Institutional District. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this item? Seeing no one, is there anyone from the council? Seeing no one, this item will move on. Item number 2 is a resolution approving case number FDP 18-01, being the request of John Crump for a PDD final development plan for a 4-story hotel located north of East 53rd Street and west of Elmore Avenue on 2.2 acres more or less. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this item? Anyone from the council? Seeing no one, this item will move on. Item number 3 is a motion directing staff to prepare and submit the Economic Opportunity Zone application to Iowa Economic Development Authority, the IEDA. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this item? Can I have Bruce, do you want to come up and give an explanation of what we're discussing on this? Thank you. Alderman Ambrose.
We had a brief discussion about it, and I think it's a very exciting area to focus on.
Yes, the census tract that seems to be, and the states reach out with communities too and talk with them. One that has piqued their interest is the census tract that includes the soon-to-be former Kraft plant. So it ends at about Division. They call it Census Tract 109. So for sure, we're going to be including that one. There are a couple of others along, if you go further east along Census Tract 106 and 115, which basically would go all the way from sort of Division, if you look at the former craft plant kind of area, all the way over to the East Village area. That seems to be kind of a primary area. There a fourth tract that, if we're so lucky to get four, we may be just lucky to get one, but if we are lucky enough to get four, we're looking at Census Tract 126.02, which is up kind of in the Hickory Grove, Pine, Wisconsin, north of Kimberly area.
Thanks, Bruce.
Anyone else from council wish to comment on this item? I'll just say, when we took the trip to Des Moines with the Chamber of Commerce, this was an opportunity that Debbie Durham with the IEDA was very excited about. The details haven't all been vetted out, but we think there's an opportunity here, and we hope it's a really great opportunity. But whatever it turns out to be, when I came back, I was encouraged that our CPED staff knew about it, was already working on it, and if they're going to be giving those out, these census tracts out, Davenport is in the conversation and hopefully will be a part of this useful tool. So seeing no one else, I will ask Alderman Kluhl to set the agenda, please.
Thank you, Alderman Grip. I move that item number 1 be moved forward to the discussion agenda, items 2 and 3 to consent.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. These will move on. Your Honor, back to you.
Thank you, Alderman Grip. The next area for discussion is public safety. So I'll ask Alderwoman Rawson and Alderman Condon to lead that discussion. Alderwoman Rawson.
Thank you. We have several items on the agenda this evening. Under number 1, resolutions closing various streets, lanes, or public grounds on the listed dates to hold outdoor events. First item, Max Tavern, St. Patrick's Day celebration, March 18th, 12 p.m. to midnight. Closure location, north sidewalk closure on 3rd Street in front of 316 to 318 3rd Street. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this item? Anyone from council? Seeing no one, this item will move on. Stickman Race Group, Easter Egg Scramble, March 31st, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., Christie Street from 11th to 12th Streets. 11th Street, closed 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., Jersey Ridge Road to Middle Road to Eastmere to Bettendorf city limits, and River Drive from City of Davenport limit and east to River Street to finish at 11th and Christie. Anyone from the public? Anyone from council? This item will move on. St. Paul Catholic Church, Join the Journey 5K, April 28th. Note the date and the change in date. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Closure location begins on Arlington and Grand Avenues, south half a block to High Street, west half a block to Tyler Park, and return. Anyone from the public wishes to comment on this item? Anyone from council? This item will move on. J&M Displays, fireworks after River Bandits games. Yay! Fridays, April through September, 9:30 p.m. until after the game ends. Closure location, bike path and sidewalk in shoot area. Anyone from the public that would like to comment on this item? Anyone from council? Seeing and hearing no one, this item will move on. Last item under this section, St. Paul Lutheran Church, Mayfest, May 20th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Closure location, Lombard Street between Main and Brady Streets. Anyone from the public? Anyone from council? This item will move on. The next section, motion approving noise variance requests for various events on the listed dates and times. There are 2 items. The first item, Front Street Tap Room, 421 West River Drive, Kelly's St. Patrick's Day at Front Street, Saturday, March 17th, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., outdoor music over 50 dBA. Additional note here, on January 24th of this year, council approved a request for Friday, March 16th from 5 to 12 a.m. Anyone from public wish to comment on this item? Anyone from council? This item will move on. Leisure Lanes, 2802 West 73rd Street, St. Patty's Day Pot of Gold, March 17th, 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., outdoor music over 50 dBA. Anyone from the public? Anyone from council? Seeing and hearing no one, that item will move on. The last section, motion approving beer and liquor license permits for new ones. We have 1 item, K&K Food and Gas, New license, new owner at 2365 Rockingham Road, license type E, liquor, C, beer. And the letters were mailed out 200-foot radius on February 16th, 2018 to all the surrounding property owners. Anyone from the public that would like to comment on this item? Anyone from council? Seeing and hearing no one, that item will move on. Section B are annual license renewals. I won't be reading through those. They're there for your information, and I'll ask Alderman Condon to go ahead and set an agenda.
I move to place items 1, 2, and 3 on
You
the
have
consent.
Oh,
the 19 and 20-year-old item C.
yeah, I just saw that at the end. Forgot that was back there. So we do have one item here at the Stardust. Request for exemptions for 19, 20-year-olds on premises. Third Ward at the Stardust, 218 Iowa Street, new license, license type C, liquor. Anyone from the public wish to comment? And this item will be approved later in the meeting toward the end and is subject to final inspection by fire and the building department. So anyone from public would like to comment on this item? Anyone from council? All right. Good enough, Mr. Warner? Thanks for the reminder. All right, now I'll ask Alderman Condon to set an agenda.
Yeah, moving to place items 1, 2, and 3 on the consent agenda.
Thank you. There's been a motion to set, thank you, and Maria has upended me. Thank you. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? And that concludes this section. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Rawson. The next third area to be discussed is Public Works. The discussion will be led by Alderman Ambrose and Alderman Dunn. Alderman Ambrose, please.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. I'll open the discussion with the first item being a resolution to enter into an intergovernmental reimbursement agreement between the City of Davenport and the Federal Aviation Administration in connection with funding for the Visual Approach Slope Indicator Power Cabling relocating during the reconstruction of runway 1533 at the Davenport Airport. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 2 is a resolution approving the contract for the West 5th and Western Avenue intersection improvement project from Hawkeye Paving Corporation of Bettendorf at the amount of $478,265. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 3 is a resolution of the plan specification, form of contract, and estimated cost of the FY 2018 micro surfacing and Cape Sealing Program. Anybody from the public? Do we have anybody from staff that can briefly explain to the public what that is? It's a great improvement in technology on keeping our streets in good shape.
Brian Shad, Public Works. The microsurfacing and Cape Seal programs are what we call a rejuvenation program. Basically, you're looking at your asphalt pavements that still have structural value, but you see them with cracks, some small rutting, items like that. This provides a little bit more flexibility back to that original pavement, fills in with some smaller rock, and then caps that again with an asphalt emulsion, and basically you get a fairly new pavement surface. It's a not as long lasting as our normal resurfacing, but you do see quite a bit of life on that.
You can lay that out much quicker than what we've done in the past too.
It is a fairly quick procedure. Addressing some of the items we saw last year, we've got some protections based in our contract this year with our public notification, dust issues, items like that. So we'll see a lot more positive contract.
Great, thanks, Brian. Maybe you want to stick around for the other one if you can answer that. Number 4 is a resolution approving the Main Street Landing Design Guidelines as the official material palette to be incorporated in the development of the portion of the Davenport Riverfront known as Main Street Landing. People are waiting for the update.
The update. How you doing? Zach Peterson, Public Works. What you see before you in your packet is the final draft of our design guidelines for the Main Street landing. So long story short, I guess, we're looking at the material palette which will be the overarching theme that will be used with the future riverfront development. So it provides the opportunity to phase out the development and ensure there's consistency among the phases during the ultimate build-out. Understand that the budget involved with the riverfront, in absence of getting a large sum of cash to make that all happen at once, we're going to need to phase it out in a matter of years to make it happen.
All right. Alderman Grip.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, nice job, Zach, on leading this effort. Alderwoman McGinnis and myself have served on the steering committee for the design guidelines. There's been a lot of public input. This is one of the last things that we need to check off before we start seeing some of these improvements from the River Vision Plan actually start to take place. And the people of Davenport should know that that is going to start this year. We're going to start to see some of the action from River Vision finally start to happen, and it's going to become what I hope is the premier riverside park in the Midwest. So
That's the goal.
yeah, nice job.
Raise the
Thank you.
bar. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Zach. Anybody from the public?
Okay.
All right, number 5 is a resolution approving the contract for Pheasant Creek Stream Stabilization Project from Mardo Schmidt Construction Company of Preston, Iowa, in the amount of $136,092.57. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 6 is a resolution approving the contract for the ADA Sidewalk Ramp Improvement Project from McDermott Concrete LLC of Bluegrass, the amount of $380,623.70. Anybody from the public? Council? I'm going to read the next 4 together, and then I'll ask for input. Number 7 is a resolution adapting the resolution of necessity covering the FY 2017 alley resurfacing program for the alley between LeClaire, Farnham, from Garfield to Columbia, between Schricker and Glassbell, from Pine to Belmont. Number 8, is a resolution amending the resolution of necessity covering the FY 17 alley resurfacing program, the alley between LeClaire, Farnham, from Garfield to Columbia, between Schricker, Glassbell, from Pine to Belmont. Number 9 is a resolution overruling direction of the FY 2017 program, resurfacing program, for the alley between LeClaire and Farnham, from Garfield to Columbia, between Schricker and Glassbell, from Pine to Belmont. And number 10 is a resolution ordering, preparing, and detailing plan specifications, notice of hearing, notice of bidders from contracts, and application to the notice of bidders and notice of hearings covering the FY 17 alley resurfacing program, Part 2, for the alley between LeClaire and Farnham, from Garfield to Columbia, between Schricker and Glassbell, from Pine to Belmont. The current estimate is $70,500. The budget amount was $76,000. Anybody from the public? Council? Number 11 is a resolution approving the specifications, form of contract, and estimated costs for the FY 2019 and 2020 contract sewer repair program. Anybody in the public? Council? Number 12 is a resolution approving the contract for runway 1533 reconstruction, observation, and administration services, task order 1 with McClure Engineering Company of Fort Dodge, Iowa, in the amount not to exceed $584,749 to provide construction, observation, and technical oversight for the reconstruction of runway 1533 at the Davenport Municipal Airport. Anybody from the public? Council? Alderman Dunn, please set the agenda.
I make a motion to place all items on consent, please.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you, Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Ambrose. The next area and last area to be discussed is finance, and Alderwoman Tompkins and Alderwoman McGinnis will lead the discussion. Alderwoman Tompkins, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I start finance tonight. We have number 1 is a first consideration, which is an ordinance providing for the sale and issuance of not to exceed $34,365,000 general obligation corporate and refunding bonds, Series 2018A, and for the levy of taxes to pay the same. Anyone from the public have any comments on this item? Anyone from council? this item will move on. And just to clarify, this is just refinancing some of our debt so that we can save some money. So it's a good thing. Also, staff recommends suspension of the rules and passage on first consideration. I make a motion for that. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, sorry. All opposed. Number 2, first consideration, ordinance providing for the sale and issuance of not to exceed 8,330,000 taxable general obligation corporate and refunding bonds series 2018B, and for the levy of taxes to pay the same. Anyone from the public have any comments on this item? Anyone from council? Also make a motion to suspend the rules and passage on first consideration. It's a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? This item will move on. Number 3, first consideration. Ordinance amending chapters 13.16.107A and 13.16.107B entitled Sanitary Sewer Rates amount from $4.16 to $4.45 to $4.76 to $5.09 to $5.45 per 100 cubic feet of water use as determined by water meter readings, and amending per bill rates for monthly commercial bills from 15.86 to 16.98 to 18.17 to 19.44 to 20.80, and amending per bill rates for monthly residential bills from 16.52 to 17.15 to 18.34 to 19.61 to 20.97, and per bill rates for quarterly residential bills from 23.33 to 23.33 to 24.93 to 26.64 to 28.47, and quarterly commercial bills from 21.33 to 22.83 to 24.43 to 26.14 to 27.97. That was fun. Just to clarify what this is, we have talked at council previously as we've talked about the budget. We've agreed that we want to do small incremental increases to keep up with our sewers. And obviously the reason for that is that we don't get hit with a large rate increase. So we're all in favor of doing small increases to keep up, and that way we can make sure that we're doing the work that we need to do. So thanks for hanging in with me on that one. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this item? Anyone from council? Alderman Dickman.
I was wondering if someone from staff could come up and just talk about what would happen if we didn't make the increases in the sewer funds, the potential problems that would come up from not taking care of our sewers. Brandon got voluntold, I think.
Brandon Wright, Chief Financial Officer and Assistant City Administrator. As you know, we're under a consent order with the IDNR. And so the list of projects that we have are very important to complete in order to be compliant with that consent order, basically so that we can add capacity to the plants. So.
And it would also potentially show up in homeowners' basements.
Exactly. Yeah. So all the projects that are going on are meant to reduce inflow and infiltration into the system. That leads to less backups. It leads to a better, more functional and efficient system. So.
Thank you. Just wanted to clarify why these are so important. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we're trying to be proactive so that we don't have a huge mess later. Alderman Rawson.
Hey, I just was wondering, is there a typo for the quarterly residential bills? The first two numbers, there's no increase. Is that correct? I thought there was.
Those numbers are correct. Good question,
Okay.
and way to catch it. But those numbers are correct, and the reason why is because if you remember the no-fault sewer reimbursement program, we took the rate from that per quarter from $2 to 50 cents, and it lowered it to $1.50. It just so happens that 7% of an increase and lowering it by $1.50 result in the exact same number. But it is correct, yes.
Thank you, Alderman Rawson and Brandon. Also going to make a motion to recommend suspension of the rules and passage on the first consideration. Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Alderman McGinnis, will you please set the agenda?
So we would, I'm going to propose that we move number 3 on to consent, the others being passed.
We're going to
correct?
need them all on discussion so
Okay.
you can suspend the rules.
All right. So I make a motion to do all three on discussion. Okay.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. And then there's a list of purchases of 10,000 between 10,000 and 50,000. That's just for informational purposes only, and it certainly shows that we have lots of stuff going on. So thanks, staff, for keeping up with that. And that's finance. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Tompkins. So we move to other ordinances, resolutions, and motions. We have one item that we'd like to add to the agenda, so I'll ask for a motion to suspend the rules to add. Second? All in favor? All right. So now I'll read the motion.
We'll need a roll call on a
Okay,
suspension of the rules.
Please.
Dunn.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Condon.
Yes.
Rawson.
Yes.
Dickman.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Grip.
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Cluel.
Yes.
Tompkins.
Yes.
10 yeses, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay, so now I'll read the motion. The motion is approving the request for an exemption for 19 and 20-year-olds on premises subject to issuance of final occupancy permit at the Stardust, 218 Iowa Street, new license type C. Anyone from the public have a concern with this? Council. Very good. Will an alderman move the motion? Okay, this motion is second. Any discussion? Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Ambrose.
Yes.
Condon.
Yes.
Rawson.
Yes.
Dickman.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Grip.
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Cluel.
Yes.
Tompkins.
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
10 yeses, Your Honor.
Thank you. That passed. Okay, very good. Thank you. Now we'll do to public with business. So anyone that has any business with the city council would come to the podium, state your name, ward, or address, please. You have 5 minutes.
Ed McWilliams, Fifth Ward. I just wanted to let you all guys know that this coming Saturday I have my powerlifting competition in Iowa City, so I will be leaving for Iowa City Friday afternoon, and I will return sometime in the afternoon. So I just wanted to let you guys all know.
Thank you, Adam. Good luck.
Thank you.
Any other public with business? Okay, council? Is there any other city officials? I'll accept a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor? All right, thank you. We're done.
That was interesting. All these people are here for